All right, Notre Dame back involved with a Penn State commit. Tell us the details.
Yeah, let's talk about this one. So Notre Dame has Javian Osborne committed. We know they want to take another running back in this class. Who could it be? We've talked about Brian Bonner from California, Jonas Walton from Georgia, DeStephen Walker from Missouri. One guy we haven't talked about in a couple months, Darren, is Messiah Mickens from Harrisburg, PA, a Penn State commit who committed to the Nittany Lions with Sider leading him there. And then Sider comes to Notre Dame, and probably one of his first calls was to Messiah Mickens, and we're going to recruit you hard. But then at the end of March, Mickens decided when he was on campus in State College, I'm going to shut down my recruiting process. I'm sticking with Penn State. He had an April and June visit lined up to Notre Dame, an unofficial and an official, respectively. But I wrote at Blue and Gold, I just don't see this being the end of this. I mean, like, he had already announced in January, hey, I'm shutting down my recruitment. I believe he was looking at like South Carolina. And I mean, he's announced 3 times he's shut his recruitment down between committing and then January and then at the end of March. I mean, this is a recruiting process. Things change, obviously. Sider moving to Penn State. And then Sider had a home visit with him. We could check out a picture for folks watching on YouTube. There they are. So this was actually Saturday. Messiah Mickens tweeted out, appreciate my guy stopping by today. So it's definitely interesting that this home visit took place. Also, it was on a Saturday. So Juwan Sider working on the weekend. And yeah, it's a really wrong. Man, Singer's struggling today, Darren. Putting up the wrong video. Yeah, Mickens a talented back, and despite Mickens saying, "Hey, I'm shutting down this process," look, I mean, J1, like, there is probably not any other coaches that the door is open to come and hang out than J1 Sider. It's Penn State's coaches can go see Mickens, or it's J1 Sider because of that long-standing relationship. Mickens committed to Penn State August 2023. The kid was a high school freshman. He's played 1 game at that point at the varsity level, and he's already committed to Penn State. They've been so close for years at this point. So will it end up in Mickens flipping to Notre Dame? I don't know, but this is going to be a prospect to watch. Mickens has been to Notre Dame once. He did visit. I believe it was like April 2023. So maybe that was, he was a freshman then and he committed to Penn State as a sophomore. I don't know at the top of my head, but he's been to Notre Dame before. But will he get back to South Bend? That'll be the interesting thing to see. If he does, I think it's game on. If not, who knows? Probably would stick with Penn State, but monitor that potential visit.
All right, Mike, let's just go back to the 26 class for a second. It seems like every time you talk about the latest commitment for that class, we're talking 4-star. It just seems like the Irish have a very deep class.
Yeah, it's a great group for Notre Dame, and I tweeted this out on Sunday. I said, yes, I know it's early, but Notre Dame is holding steady in the top 5 of the 2016 recruiting rankings. Like, if you look at 24/7 and Rivals, I know they have them at number 2. It's just different ways to compute the rankings. According to On Threes, which is more of an average than a popularity contest of who has the most commitments. It's like On Threes only takes your top 7 commitments, whereas Rivals, I know, does it's up to 20 at all the time. So of course USC is the number 1 class in the country because they have over 20 commits. Notre Dame only has 14. But anyways, USC, LSU, and Ohio State top 3 classes. Michigan down at 28. Got to throw that in there. And Darren, how long we been doing this? 5 years. Me and you have been doing these interviews, and Notre Dame starts hopping. This just does seem. I mean, you have a 5. Usually, Darren, Notre Dame in the past few years they get that 5-star late. Like Charles Jog, you saw gets a bump late. Gerby Lambert, Jalen Sneed. I mean, they already have a 5-star. I mean, when's the last time Notre Dame had a 5-star guy committed as one this early in the process? It's been several years. Ebenezer Uwatade. When you look at him, according to On Three's rankings, he's almost a 5-star. He's already the 29 overall player in the country. I mean, Javian Osborne ranked high, Tyler Merrill. I mean, you have Noah Grubbs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players ranked inside the top 200 nationally. And I think when you look back at the class last year with 10 more players or something, I think they had one less top in terms of top 200 guys. And Notre Dame has the potential to add several more top 200 players. This is, I mean, when one of your lower ranked guys in the class is Bubba Frazier, who ran a 4.43 40-yard dash laser time, right? That's not the uncle with the stopwatch in the backyard hitting stop when the kid just hit 30 yards. No, that is a 4.43 laser time at a legit Under Armour event. Bubba Frazier picking Notre Dame over, offers from Georgia and a bunch of other schools. This is a darn good class for Notre Dame. You got your quarterback commit early. I always say this, Darren, the three most important things in football is getting the quarterback right, protecting your quarterback, and getting after the other team's quarterback. Right? Look at the top of the board. Rodney Dunham, Ebenezer Uatade. They are going to be getting after the other team's quarterback. What about protecting your quarterback? Tyler Merrill, 6'5", 330 pounds, number 4 interior offensive lineman in the country. Gregory Patrick, who number 9 interior offensive lineman in the country, just screams Anthony Knapp. That's kind of what Notre Dame's thinking with Gregory Patrick, where he might be ranked as an interior guy, might have the size of an interior guy, but just has the skills like Knapp to play tackle the next level. Ben Nichols, Sullivan Garvin, too strong. Looking at 6'5", 315 pounds and 6'6", 300 pounds as high school juniors, studs on the interior. And then Noah Grubbs, who, if you give him time, he can dice you up at the quarterback position, and he's got a really strong arm. It's a great class, and it's not like, oh man, they hit on their top guys. Who knows what they're going to do now? You look at running backs, receivers, tight ends, maybe another offensive lineman, the defensive lineman they're in the mix with, another linebacker, the defensive backfield, absolute studs that they're in the mix with all these positions. So, yes, I know it's early, got to close. But damn, can Notre Dame sign a really good class in 2026?
What is your favorite part of the class right now?
I mean, it's got to be the defensive end duo.
Okay.
You have a 5-star and another potential 5-star. I mean, that's like a no-brainer. I mean, I'm going to plan to write an article in the near future on it's time to change the narrative about Al Washington. And this is an article I've been wanting to do really since Dunham committed April 10th. So it's been on the docket for about a month, but it's a column. I can push that back. I can do it whenever. So I think the narrative has already changed, but for a while it was like Al Washington was the scapegoat on the Notre Dame staff when it comes to recruiting and fans being upset with the guy. Now it's kind of shifted towards Mike Brown, but Al Washington, I mean, look, we'll see if Tiki Hola ends up committing to Notre Dame this weekend. It's a tight battle between Notre Dame and SMU, so maybe we should hold that article for potentially next week or another time. But yeah, I mean, they would love to have him, Alistair Veheo from Texas. I think Notre Dame's in a really good spot there, and the Irish absolutely love him. So I would say Rodney Dunham, Ebenezer Uatade, and then what could be around the corner for Notre Dame D-line recruiting is really exciting.